What's going on, everybody? Today I am really excited about this video because I'm going to be doing a live reaction to your songs. Earlier this week I made a post asking you to share your songs that you would like me to react to, and we got about 32 entries. And so today I'm going to react to probably about 5 of those. But before we jump in, I just want to thank every single person who submitted their music. It takes a lot of courage to ask for feedback and criticism. Not only that, but doing it in a public manner such as this, where I'm reacting to it on YouTube. So I just want to thank you all for your submissions. And also just to let it be known that the spirit behind why I'm doing this is to help you guys out and give y'all feedback. It's not to be making fun of anybody or picking on anybody. My feedback is constructive. So my heart behind any feedback I give is I'm trying to help y'all be better at what you do, and also highlight some of the things you're already doing that are very good as well. So not just focusing on the stuff that needs the work, but also focusing on the good stuff that you're already doing. All right, so without further ado, let's make our first spin and see who our first winner is. Okay, Iggy. Congratulations, Iggy. Let's check out your music.
I plead, witness the real me, withstand their provided urgency. If I'm whistling, you will stand for what I believe. Listening, you'll hear all their treachery. Come witness what it means to be a real G. Witness the real me, which path leads me to my awaited destiny. I gave my heart to this, so I got...
All right, so let me just give a quick little gut reaction. So one thing I feel so far is the tone of the vocal. I feel like it's matching the vibe of this particular instrumental. Like it has like the spoken word type of feel to it. So I feel like the emotions is lining up with the emotions of the voice is lining up with the emotions of the instrumental. So that's really good. Let me take it back just a little bit further and listen to it a little bit more.
Got no blood left to bleed. I plead, witness the real me, withstand their provided urgency. If I'm whistling, you will stand for what I believe. Listening, you'll hear all their treachery. Come witness what it means.
So one thing I'll say, it's not really on the writing side, it's kind of more on the mixing side, but the S's are a little bit sharp, the sibilances and stuff like that. This vocal has a reverb on it, so also that's another negative thing about the S sounds, those sibilances, is they trigger that reverb too, so you really hear it like echoed in the reverb.
To be a real G.
Listen for that.
I plead, witness the real me, withstand their provided urgency. If I'm
here on urgency,
I'm whistling, you will stand. Their
and whistling.
Provided urgency. If I'm whistling, you will stand.
So that's one thing to pay attention to. It's like, that's just something that we have to deal with all the time with mixing and recording and stuff like that. There's a certain amount of that you can control in the recording itself by just being mindful of it, like just listening to those S sounds. We can like back off of them a little bit sometimes. It's a little bit more trickier with rapping than like singing, because singing the notes are typically held longer, so it could be a little bit easier to kind of pull back on some of those. But that's just something to look out for in the recording, to try to control that as much as you can, but also whoever mixes it, that's something to focus on as well. There's a lot of different techniques that we can use to do that, like de-essing or just manually clipping, like cutting the S's and like controlling the volume of just those S sounds and bringing them down and stuff like that. But let me keep listening.
For what I believe, listening, you'll hear all their treachery. Come witness what it means to be a real G. Witness the real me.
Another thing I want to point out is one thing I really like about what you're doing is there's some pausing in your raps. And it's funny, like pausing is like a weakness for a lot of us rappers. Like we feel like if we pause, we're cheating. It's like we're being lazy or something like that. Pausing is so important. Like we don't just pause to take a breath. Like we pause because it's a part of our cadence pattern that we have going on. We pause for, in this case, like this has like a spoken word feel. So pausing is so important in spoken word, to let things breathe for a moment, to let you ponder on something I just said, to maybe build some suspense. You know, maybe I'm about to make a point and then I pause before I make that point, to kind of let it linger a little bit and let you anticipate what I'm about to say. Pausing is very important, and I really like how you're using pausing. Let me take it back a little bit. It feels very natural and it feels very purposeful.
Which path leads me to my awaited destiny? I gave my heart to this, sir. I got no blood left to bleed. I can't seem to get what I need and it's killing me. So here's the real me.
I like the little delay splash effect right there on me.
No blood left to bleed. I can't seem to get what I need and it's killing me. So here's the real me.
Me.
Jehovah at your door, knocking
Again, that was a long pause. Let you just sit there and think about it for a second.
for a second time, the same as before. Won't let no one in.
Let me take it back just a little bit.
Jehovah at your door, knocking for a second time, the same as before. Won't let no one in tonight, cause you got here on your own. Got me and God on your side, so in the river you will roll. Try to win so bad that you won't admit when you're lost and alone. It's okay, witness this is the real me, even if you don't care or condone.
So that was the interesting thing. The condone finished that rhyme off. It didn't land in the same place wherever that rhyme was at. It landed a lot later than that first rhyme. Let me go.
I want a car to show I've grown.
Grown.
I want a house as if it was a God-given throne. I've thrown myself at every woman I've ever known. Witness this is the real me that you ain't ever known. I spent 6 months trying to forget another hoe. Wasted my time, forever's become way too short. Witness the real me. I do it searching for lost safety. I do everything in a haste. Lately, sit
I think I did not rewind it back to where I was trying to.
back down when you're lost and alone. Went so bad that you will roll. You got here on your own. As before, door knocking for a second.
Yeah, it's after this pause right here.
Jehovah at your door, knocking for a second time, the same as before. Won't let no one in tonight, cause you got here on your own. Got me and God on your side, so in the river you will roll. Try to win so bad that you won't admit when you're lost and alone. It's okay, witness this is the real me, even if you don't care or condone.
Yeah, that part right there, yeah. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just pointing that out as something I was noticing. This is more of almost like a spoken word. It's a lot more open. I feel like with something like this, you can also push things a little bit further as far as like letting the structure. You can be tight with it at times, but you can also be kind of lax with it. I think that can kind of add to the spoken word character of this type of piece right here, which I like, because spoken word isn't typically as strictly like rhythmical. Like it has a rhythm to it, but it's not typically as like musical as like a rap per se. And so I think it's kind of cool to kind of play around with both of those elements, like keeping that spoken word vibe, like the long pauses you have in your stuff, that makes it feel like spoken word, you know, but you obviously got the rap elements in there as well. So I feel like this is a pretty good hybrid of like spoken word, but rap and like bringing both of that feeling and vibe to it. So I like that. So I wouldn't even like, even though I'm catching on that rhyme being a little bit later, I don't know if I would necessarily quote unquote change that or fix that. I think it's kind of cool actually.
I want a car to show I've grown. I want a house as if it was a God-given throne. I've thrown myself at every woman I've ever known. Witness this is the real me that you ain't ever known. I spent 6 months trying to forget another hoe. Wasted my time, forever's become way too short. Witness the real me. I do it searching for lost safety. I do everything in a haste. Lately, sit back down, eat slowly, finish your food, then sleep. You hear me? Wake up, then we repeat this date slowly. I don't like to talk at times, can't you see this is the real me? I don't chase a light for the times it has scarred and burnt me. I don't sleep at night, past memories always come to haunt me. I see your smile and I swear it breaks me. It must have mattered for how much has gone and upset me. Can't sleep, come witness the real me. Witness the real me, I'm really, really the real me. Don't deny me, you still mind me. I'll do it for the times they left.
I like the repetition of witness the real me, you know, and it's not necessarily like it's like, as far as how I'm taking it in, it's not like there's like a hook per se, but there's that repetition of you repeating that same phrase, and it just comes in kind of periodically as you're doing your rap / poetry, which makes it feel, once again, like poetry, where you got the repetition there, so the listener's recalling that and obviously picking it up on that's the theme of what you're talking about. I think that's very nice.
Me, I sip another glass to blur the light all around me. I wish I was alright, but I'm still as bad as the last time you saw me.
think that's pretty much it. It's just writing out from there. So yeah, that's pretty much my feedback on that, Iggy. I thought you did a really good job with that. I thought that was very nice. Great job on that. So hopefully some of my feedback was helpful, but yeah, as far as on the written side, not really much there to critique. I love how poetic it was, and very, positive and conscious and deep. Great job on that. Okay, let's check out our second song. Let's see who the next winner is gonna be. All right, the Real Mike Sensei, I believe is how you say that. Congratulations, let's check out your music. Another chill vibe.
Better take care of your business. Niggas doing anything for the riches. The game is wicked. Better stay on your business. Better take care of your business. Niggas doing anything for the riches. The game is wicked. Better stay on your business. What y'all talking about? The whole game's corrupted, crazy images, the kids love it. Social media got y'all crossed up like hot sauce at the Rutgers game. Shit's insane, let me pick your brain. Niggas selling out for the low, looking like Pinocchio. Every time they talk, they nose broke. They wanna be real boys, they already peace joy. People do anything for fame and a name. Once they have it, they don't look the same. Smiling in your face, hiding the aches and pains. I stay independent, don't wanna gamble, don't wanna be Tiger Woods. Better take care of your...
All right, let me go back real quick. One thing that's kind of raising his hand to me a little bit is the sound of the actual vocal on this.
Business.
Well, first of all, I like the delivery. I think that's matching the tone of the track and stuff. That feels good. The actual recording itself feels a little bit kind of like telephonic. I don't know if that's intentional or not, or if that's more of how it was initially recorded. It depends on different microphones have a dramatic influence on how the actual vocal sounds. This one feels a little bit more on the higher side as far as like the main information that's in there. I'm hearing more a lot of the higher mid frequencies and stuff like that, but not as much of like the low kind of lower body type of sounds. It kind of gives it more the weight. Like the lower mid frequencies, like around 200 or so. I'm not really hearing that a lot, so it feels a little bit thin and kind of sharp and piercing to the ear. Actually, I'm gonna play it back a little bit. I'm just gonna kind of, crank it up on my headphones. Y'all won't hear a volume change, but I'm just gonna change it on my headphones.
Just doing anything for the riches. The game is wicked. Better stay on your business.
Yeah. If you crank this up when I'm playing it back, you'll hear what I'm talking about. It kind of becomes piercing to the ears and like fatiguing. So that's one thing I would work on. I don't know if that was done on the mixing side or the recording side, or it could be a combination of both per se. But depending on the microphone you're using, if you're using like some of these cheaper microphones, maybe it's not picking up as much of the bass, or maybe you recorded a little bit further from the mic, so it wasn't able to pick up a lot of the bass. I don't think that's what it is, though. It doesn't sound like you're too far away from the mic.
Stay on your business. Better take care of your business. Niggas doing anything for the riches.
Yes, I don't think you're that far from the mic. It doesn't sound like you're far from it. It may be more of a mixing thing or just a microphone choice thing. But that's something I would definitely pay some attention to see if you can kind of round out that vocal sound a little bit more so it doesn't sound as fatiguing and stuff. Like if you were to boost, let's say like some of the 200K around that range, like the lower mid frequencies, it'll automatically probably not start feeling as piercing because it has more lower frequencies to kind of balance that highness out. So that's one kind of funny thing about mixing. Like let's say a track has like a lot of bass in it. If you like raise all the high end stuff and make all the high end stuff louder, all of a sudden it doesn't feel like it has as much bass. So one affects the other basically. The less bass something has, the more thin and bright and kind of piercing it'll sound. So try to bring a little bit more bass out in the vocal through the recording or the mix itself, and that should kind of help balance that out. And then you may have to still do some processing or whatever to kind of address the high end stuff, but hopefully that helps out. Let me take this back though. I heard a rhyme scheme break, which raised its head to me a little bit. But I mean, overall, you see how long I played this track. I haven't even stopped it yet. So that lets you know there's a lot of good stuff that I'm hearing. So let me just take it back a little bit.
The game is wicked. In your face, hiding the aches and pains. I see for fame in the name. Once they have it, they don't look the same. Smiling in your face, hiding the aches and pains. I stay independent, don't wanna gamble, don't wanna be Tiger Woods. Better take care of your business.
Yeah. So that the ending of the verse felt like a little disappointing just because I was anticipating a rhyme scheme to finish there. Let me go back a little bit further and listen to it.
Niggas doing anything for the riches. The game is wicked. Better stay on your business. Stay on your business. Better take care of your business. In your face, hiding the aches and pains. I stay independent, don't wanna gamble, don't wanna be Tiger Woods. Better take care of your business.
Yeah. So the rhyme scheme kind of broke apart there at the end. I'm assuming that's probably intentional because you've maintained the rhyme schemes the whole verse. That's kind of like one of my little pet peeves. Is I'm really big on starting strong and like finishing the verse strong. And whenever you kind of break apart a rhyme scheme at the very end, it kind of causes it to not end as hard. But that would be my little bit of feedback on the end of that verse right there. Let me just take it back.
Niggas doing anything. Once they have it, they don't look the same. Smiling in your face, hiding the aches and pains. I stay independent, don't wanna gamble, don't wanna be Tiger Woods. Better take care of your business. Niggas doing anything for the riches. The game is.
And one thing I would say too, like on these like delays on the hook, where you're kind of repeating what you're saying. This is kind of going more, there's a theme here. I'm picking up on some mixing stuff. So you may want to process that vocal a little bit differently when you repeat it yourself, like maybe EQ it differently, like maybe take some of that high end out, just so it feels a little bit separate from the lead vocal. So it doesn't feel like an exact repeat of the lead vocal. It sounds a little bit different. So like if you remove some of that high end information, let's say you take like a low pass filter and you take out, all the way up until like maybe 2 or 3K or something like that, it's going to remove a lot of the brightness and it's going to just create this more separation. So the vocal is kind of brighter, then you hear that echo come in, it's going to sound just a little bit darker, and it kind of just creates this depth, a little bit of contrast between the two, so they just feel a little bit more 3D, if you will. Let me keep playing.
It's wicked. Better stay on your business. Stay on your business. Better take care of your business. Niggas doing anything for the riches. The game is wicked. Better stay on your business.
Love the message.
Feels like the real ones on strike are probably somewhere smoking crack pipes. Too many foot soldiers, not enough generals. The whole game looking pitiful. Speak the truth, they do anything to get rid of you. Said in my youth.
Like the multi-syllable rhyme going right here. Again, like I said, you're doing a great job with the rhyme schemes. That's why I'm pretty sure the way you ended that first verse was actually very intentional.
Let a clown be a clown. Never join a circus. Do things with a purpose. You wonder why when I rap, fools hate and get nervous? I choose to be a leader, never a fool servant. Better take care of your bitch.
I like also the clown kind of circus connection right there.
Niggas doing anything. Let a clown be a clown. Do anything to get rid of you. Said in my youth, let a clown be a clown. Never join a circus. Do things with a purpose. You wonder why when I rap, fools hate and get nervous? I choose to be a leader, never a fool servant. Better take care of your business. Niggas doing anything for the riches.
I like that. I think the hook is very catchy too. Yeah, I love that. That kind of boom bap, chill vibe. It's a little bit of a similar vibe to the first song. Just kind of that more mellow, kind of laid back, chill. Let me talk to you. Just chillax for a second. But yeah, that'd be my feedback for that track. But Mike, man, you're doing great, bro. Like that's a very catchy song, very great message. Keep doing your thing, bro. You're doing awesome, man. All right, let's check out our third winner. Okay, Explain Through Rap. For those people who's been following the channel for a minute, I actually did a video covering Explain Through Rap not that long ago because he was one of the winners of a rap competition we had. So it's gonna be cool to check out and see what he's been up to. So let's see what he shared with us today.
I look up high and ask why is the sky that's cerulean cool blue? Dude, it's not new, boo. It's a common fact, often asked, and that's where these cats are clapping back with.
That's interesting. So I talked about this recently on the Tom McDonald song, how most songs have like an intro. And Tom McDonald's Dirty Money was an exception to that. And this is another one of those. Like there's pretty much no intro. He just gets straight into it.
I look up high.
Yeah. So within like 1 second, he's already beginning his rap right here.
I look up high and ask why is the sky that's cerulean cool blue? Dude, it's not new, boo. It's a common fact, often asked, and that's where these cats are clapping back with the classic rap.
The sun emanates light with its rays white. All the colors of the rainbow, you may know its name, yo, is the...
All right, so that's interesting. The voice changed right there. So that, I'm not sure if it's the same person rapping or if it's a different voice or it's an effect on the vocal to kind of create like this kind of back and forth kind of conversation feel. Let me take it back. I'm kind of processing this and making sense of it.
Clapping back with the classic rap.
The sun emanates light with its rays white. All the colors...
The voice sounds really deeper right here. So, yeah.
Classic rap.
The sun emanates light with its rays white. All the colors of the rainbow, you may know its name, yo.
Yeah, to me it sounds like there's like a forming effect applied to the vocal to like lower the tone. It sounds like the same person rapping, but just a lower tone that's been applied to like a plugin maybe. I could be wrong about that, but that's kind of my hunch. Because I feel like I'm hearing a little bit of the artifacts from that.
That's where these cats are clapping back with the classic rap.
The sun emanates light with its rays white. All the colors of the rainbow, you may know its name, yo, is the visible spectrum. I'll explain so your brain can handle this.
One thing I'm trying to listen for is like if they're saying certain words differently, like if they have a slightly different accent. And I don't know. I think they have the same accent.
Change like a payphone.
The electromagnetic spectrum is a cool range of different kinds of energy that travel through space. Radio waves, microwaves, and light would be the visible spectrum. It's the bit our eyes can see. When the sunbeams are unleashed at us here, it has to pass through the Earth's atmosphere.
And so one thing I would say too about the mix, this is a different type of song, but on this one, from a mixing perspective, I've been giving a lot of mixing feedback if y'all noticed that. But the vocal is sitting pretty much completely on top of the track. One way that you can kind of hear that is typically the snare drum and the vocal is usually in a pretty similar volume, at least on hip hop tracks, that is. And you can hear the snare is pretty low in comparison to the vocal. So the vocal's significantly louder than that snare drum. Let's listen to that.
That is here. It has to pass through the Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel like the
light
vocal
gets
doesn't really feel like the vocal is sitting in the track, it's sitting on top of the track. So that's one thing I would work on is just the mixing side to kind of get the vocal more in there. And then overall, it has an effect on how the whole track feels because not to get like too deep, but like all the instruments are frequencies. Your voice is made of frequencies. And so when those things are more blended together, they all kind of contribute to the overall feeling of the song together. So like when one vocal is like way up here, the track is all the way out there, you're not getting the full feeling of the whole track because they're not all together per se. It's a little bit too much separation. But yeah, so let me play it back. So that's just a slight thing that's raising its hand. Let me see. And that vocal change thing is still kind of throwing me off that happened right there towards the beginning. Not a big deal, but it just raised its hand to me.
Should split and scattered here all around like glass bottles when you smash a beer. The light hits tiny particles in the air there. This deflection affects the trajectory, direction or mention.
Very, very good rhymes, very dense rhymes, lots of wordplay. I already know that from Explain Through Rap, from going over some of his other his submission and stuff from the rap contest, but very good stuff there. I wouldn't expect anything different.
Where on the spectrum a color's wavelength lands is essential.
Blue light has a sort of wavelength from other colors, greens, medium, and reds long. It's why blue scatters more. It's a true fact. It gets around more. Rush to call it two-pack. And dude, that's why
I'm still trying to figure out if this is a different person or not. Like I'm having doubts that it might be just a different person rapping.
Look up at the sky, blues coming at your eye from all angles down.
When red light hits air, particles passing by, it's still
angles down.
When red light hits air particles.
And dude, that's why when we look up at the sky, blues coming at your eye from all angles down.
When red light hits air particles passing by.
I think that's him. I think that's him, and I think he's just changing his tone. You gotta let me know, explain through rap. Let me know if that's you and you're just changing the tone through like some type of format effect or something like that. That's what I'm thinking.
The sky blues coming at your eye.
Cause like on Sky, like I heard some type of something on Sky, like an artifact or something.
Look up at the sky blues.
You hear that on Sky? It's like it kind of breaks a little bit. Listen to this.
That's why when we look up at the sky blues.
So yeah, I'm hearing little things like that. That's kind of leading me to believe
coming at your eye from all angles down.
When red light hits air particles passing by, it still.
Also, I would critique this a little bit differently than I would like critique a song, because this is not really a song per se. What he's doing is something a little bit different, where he's teaching through the medium of rap. And so yeah. So I'm not going to critique it the same way I would like critique a song. Same way I was going on that first song I was listening to, I was picking up on this spoken word vibe to it. So I'm like, okay, like when I'm listening to a song, I'm asking myself, what's the purpose of this song? Because we write many different types of songs. Every song isn't like a normally structured song. It's not like, verse, hook, like some of Joyner Lucas's songs. There's like no hook at all. It's all like spoken word, like that track he did called I'm Not Racist. He did another one with like a devil theme or something like that. And it's pretty much like spoken word, so totally different song structure.
Scattered right, but the impact is slight. But if the sun is low when it rises or sets, the light you can get is more fiery and red. Cause light has more of the atmosphere to get through. It doesn't take the best route, and we're seeing less blue. Yellow, red, and pink, man, take a straighter path. Blue loses its way like it's Breaking Bad. Blue light scatters many ways, right after daytime. It evades eyes, it ain't going in a straight line. During the day, blue is pouring our way. From every angle it
Very
makes
good
this
rhyme
a jury
scheme
display. Because blue is coming at us from all directions. The sky, because blue is coming at us from all away. From every angle it makes this a jury display. Because blue is coming at us from.
I feel like I could hear where you punched in right there. It's a small thing. I could hear it sound like the last recording got cut off a little bit.
Because blue is coming at us away. From every angle it makes this a jury display. Because blue is coming.
Yeah. Before you say because.
The angle it makes this a jury display. Because blue is.
Heard a little pop there. Not a big deal.
Coming at us from all directions. The sky looks blue to your perceptions.
This idea that I'm getting to speak is called Rayleigh scattering. Evidently, blue light skies most.
That's got to be an effect. It's got to be an effect.
Yeah, it's well in the lead. Other color sky too, but to a lesser degree.
Lord Rayleigh was credited with finding this. He was a British mathematician and scientist. They gave him a physics Nobel Prize for this. It's now a fundamental concept for the sciences. That's kind of it, yeah.
Very good rhymes, man.
Given the why, indirect blue light comes from all the bits of the sky. This is cause blue light scatters lost. To see other colors more, the sun has to drop.
Comment your request if you can find any time. It helps the channel if y'all share, like, and subscribe.
I like how you put that in at the end. Cool stuff there. So that's explained through rap. Hopefully some of that feedback was helpful. And let's check out the fourth submission. Raymond. Congratulations to you, Raymond. Let's check out what Raymond shared with us.
Hey, sip that shit, Hassie.
All right, so right now the intro's lingering a little bit. So we're at 24 seconds. You haven't really grabbed me yet. I've heard some like ad libs and stuff like that. So that's a pretty long time. When I am starting to hear some vocals, I can barely hear them. I hear two different vocals playing right now. So two different recordings, two different levels. And so the one that seems like you're saying more is actually a little bit less audible. Let me play that back just a little bit.
My first name Vince. My first name Vince.
It almost sounds like the lead vocal is the one furthest in the back, and like you're doing almost like some spot stacks, and that's the one that's really in the front. I'm not sure yet. Let me just keep playing and listen to this.
I ain't saying nigga ain't had shit. I pray for my sins. In effect, My niggas only around just for some money. This shit kicked in. Yeah.
All right, so the beat is dropped at this point, so we're definitely like either in the hook or the verse at this point. So let's see how the vocals sound now.
Remember when a young name never had friends?
All right, so here we go. We got the vocals are more prominent now.
Ball in the streets like my first name Vince. Put my heart on my sleeve and it never made sense. While I'm all in the deep, gotta pray for my sin.
Yeah, so the intro vocals was throwing me off a little bit. It just kind of sounded a little bit weird the way that it was kind of mixed right there. All right, let's check this out.
Streets like my first name Vince. When a young name never. Remember when a young name never had friends? Used to ball in the streets like my first name Vince. Put my heart on my sleeve and it never made sense. While I'm all in the deep, gotta pray for my sin. Know I see a lot of hate and a fake through the lens, but I'm still gon' smoke till this shit kicked in. Water on me like a boat when they see me in the end. I was missing my brother, we came out the struggle. This shit wasn't easy, we had to go hustle. I was slipping in puddles and
I'm loving the flow. I'm loving the rhyme scheme structure. One thing that's raising its head to me a little bit about the vocal though is it's kind of similar to the song before the Explain Through Rap track, where I was talking about the vocal felt a little bit thin and kind of sharp sounding, had a kind of like a telephonic sound. This has that as well. This one sounds like, I don't know if it sounds like it's probably a mixing thing, where too much of that low end may have got removed out of the vocal, where it feels like that low end is gone at this point and it's just like the higher end information. So it feels a little bit like a telephone effect. So I'm not sure that's intentional or not, but that's raising his hands on me a little bit.
I was missing my brother, we came out the struggle. This shit wasn't easy, we had to go hustle. I was slipping in puddles and cut up like butter. I'm smoking my weed loaded up with no guts.
And if you hear the piano, his vocal is kind of opposite of what I was talking about with Explain Through Rap. With Explain Through Rap, his vocal was sitting like way on top of the beat, right? On this one, it's the opposite. His vocal is sitting too far into the beat. And so the piano is actually louder than he is. So this is definitely a mixing issue. And so we need to bring that vocal up. We need to balance that vocal out a little bit more with some EQ most likely. Let's bring up some more of the low end information of that vocal. I want to hear some of that chest sound in your voice. Like I want to hear more some of that body, some of that weight. Right now the vocal sounds a little bit too thin and kind of brittle and harsh. Again, if our ears are very sensitive to this range that you're hearing. This is probably like around 1-2K and up on the frequency spectrum and stuff like that. And so that's a very sensitive thing. It's sharp. It's that's the part we really hear other vocal. But if we don't have that lower end information, then it just feels like just too much. And so if I crank this up a little bit, it's probably gonna start hurting my ears a little bit.
All of my family, my sisters, my mother. No, they don't understand me. This shit can get gutter. Get froze like a mannequin sending you on.
Yeah.
And I know.
Yeah, I'm cranking it up and it's starting to just hurt a little bit listening to it. So that's my feedback with that from a mixing perspective.
They be panicking when I'm in front of them. Took a little time, but I came out the bottom. For all of my niggas, I say that I got 'em. And if they start switching, that shit ain't my problem. We gon' come through and get it, we ready to solve 'em. Spending some money, they think that I'm ballin'. Now I ain't got shit, I'm the one they call. I was stuck in the pit, got tired of the fall. Tryna slide with a stick before I'm put in the car. It's a whole lot of shit on my mind and I'm tryna get it out. It been hard for the sleep cause I'm not on my route. He ain't talking no money like what you about. They get tested like a dummy for running his mouth. These niggas ain't fun.
Very good job too with the way you're punching in. I can tell it's punched in just because it sounds so smooth, and I can tell how you're coming in on the tail end of some of your words, which is that's a great thing. That's why we punch in a lot, because we want all that stuff to kind of be held a little bit longer. I think you're doing a great job with like how you're punching in your vocals. That sounds awesome. I love that. This thing sounds very smooth. It's riding. You're matching your tone up, your energy, like your volume and all that stuff. It sounds seamless.
They looking so bummy, I'm dealing with pain and I don't got a pout. Keeping it inside, I ain't letting it out. Say I'm just a little young and I'm straight out of the south. Remember when a young name never had friends. Used to ball in the streets like my first name Vince.
And what I would say too, we're on the hook now, I believe. And so there's not really too much separation between the way the vocal sound on the hook versus the verse. It sounds like the same exact sound. A lot of times on the hook, we like things to open up a little bit more, or for there to be some type of movement. A lot of times the hook is like the biggest sounding part of the song. Not always. Sometimes it's the smallest the smallest sounding part of the song. But here there's really no movement with the vocal. It's still in the same spot, still the same amount of vocals. It sounds like, you may want to consider like maybe doing some more stacks on your vocal and then maybe painting some of that stuff to the left, some to the right, kind of getting more of a stereo field, or just maybe adding some different effects to the vocal on the hook. maybe some different reverbs or delays and stuff, just to kind of create a little bit more contrast and separation between the verses and the hooks.
Put my heart on my sleeve and it never made.
Let me take it back a little bit, going into the hook.
Remember when they pain and I don't got a pout.
So
These niggas ain't funny, they looking so bummy. I'm dealing with pain and I don't got a pout. Keeping it inside, I ain't letting it out. Say I'm just a little young and I'm straight out of the south. Remember when a young name never had friends. Used to ball in the streets like my first name Vince. Put my heart on my sleeve and it never made sense. While I'm all in the deep, gotta pray for my sins. Know I see a lot of hate and a fake through the lens, but I'm still gon' smoke till this shit kicked in. Water on me like a boat when they see me in the end. Water, water, water when I slaughter your daughter. I'ma slide in the SRT, hit me in the charge. Niggas sitting on the bench, I ain't never been a starter. I done told them about the pain, but I know this shit scarred. We gon' spray the whole block, have them run till tomorrow. Dealing with some things I done been too far. Putting tats on my body, trying to cover up the scars. I've been living like I had it, even though it's been hard. Niggas don't wanna see nothing come out of me. We made bullets with his head like pottery. It's a whole lot of money on me like I hit the lottery. Taking everything on the board like Monopoly. Niggas, all these bitches ain't nothing around stopping me. Aiming for the top, say this what a young about to be. Feeling how I'm feeling, ain't nothing count broccoli. Cook 'em like a fry, asking why this demon popping me.
I love all the wordplay, like the Monopoly, the broccoli. I think you have great flow, great rhyme scheme structure. All that stuff is super solid. Like, I'm loving all of that.
Hey, remember when a young name never had friends. Used to ball in the streets like my first name Vince. Put my heart on my.
And going back to the hook, like, you know how I was talking about separation between the hook. One thing you do have going though is you're rapping slightly different on the hook, where you have a little bit more melody. On the vibe on the 100 phone friends, hit him with the task and hitting home there. You got a little bit more of a melody kind of going with that, which I like. And that could be even exaggerated a little bit more, like I was saying, like with some effects and stuff like that. Like, you don't have to go crazy with auto tune, but you could do stuff with like tuning, like things that are slightly different pitches or whatever to kind of blend in with that, to kind of support that harmony and make it even sound more harmonic and stuff. But I like that. I think it's catchy too. Most importantly, I think the hook already is sounding pretty catchy. I think more could just be done on a vocal production kind of mixing standpoint to kind of make it shine a little bit more.
Leave and it never made sense. While I'm all in the deep, gotta pray for my sins. Know I see a lot of hate and a fake through the lens, but I'm still gon' smoke till this shit kicked in. Water on me like a boat when they see me in the end. I was missing my brother, we came out the struggle. This shit wasn't easy, we had to go hustle. I was slipping in puddles and cut up like butter. I'm smoking my weed loaded up with no guts. For all of my family, my sister, my mother. No, they don't understand me, this shit can get gutted. You get froze like a mannequin, send you on. And I know they be panicking when I'm in front of them. Remember when a young name never had friends. Used to ball in the streets like my first name Vince.
So what I would say, Raymond, I think the biggest thing you should focus on to improve, I think you're already writing super solid songs. Like, you're super tight on that end. You got to work on the mixing side of things and the production side of things, the vocal production side of things. So I don't know if you're doing everything by yourself at this point. If you are, you just DIY and everything, just start looking up more stuff on those things, mixing and vocal production. If you got a budget, then those are good things also to hire other people to help you out with as well, if you can do that, if that's in the budget. But those are the main two things that you should focus on to take your songs to the next level. You got the talent part figured out with you. We got to work on those other elements and bring those things up to make the overall sound quality of these songs a lot better. So hopefully that helps you out, bro. Keep up the good work, bro. You're killing it, man. Okay, our fifth and final winner. Let's see who it is. Braylon Burns. Congrats to you, bro. Let's check out and see what you shared with us.
Yeah. B Flacco.
I'm always a sucker for some guitars, man.
Hopping in my head these days, so I just hop on a beat. Said that's the only way that I vent, the realest way to me. Said I'ma open my mind to y'all and don't be scared what you see. Said I'ma be a household name that's Flacco with the B.
All right, so one thing, I like the flow. I think the flow is, the cadence pattern and stuff is sounding good. One thing that needs a little bit of love is the pitch. You're not far off pitch-wise, but your vocals sound like they just have no type of pitch correction or anything whatsoever. So that could be a creative decision on your part where you want it to sound more natural. You may not want that auto-tune sound. You may want that more natural sound. So if you want to keep it natural sounding, but you want to make that pitch sound better, check out, if you're the one doing the mixing or the editing or whatever, check out a plugin called Melodyne. That's the secret sauce for getting that pitch to sound a lot better, but in a very transparent and subtle way to make it still feel natural. So that's one thing there. Also, if you're just trying to improve the singing, one thing you can do is use something like auto-tune, not for an effect per se, but you can put auto-tune on and you can record while auto-tune is on without applying that effect to your vocal. And that may help you dial it in a little bit more, but I don't know. You sound pretty close. It's just a little bit like flat or sharp at times, and it just needs to be tuned a little bit, which you should be able to do with something like Melodyne pretty transparently. Let me keep listening.
I've been in my head these days, so I just hop on the beat. And that's the only way that I vent, the realest way for me. So I'ma open my mind and y'all, and don't be scared what you see. So I'ma be a household name that's Flocko with the B.
All right, and going back, this has been like a similar theme that I've commented on a lot today. There's been like a lot of mixing stuff I've been talking about. So this vocal doesn't sound as kind of thin and piercing as some of the other vocals, but it still needs a little bit of love. It still needs some processing. Like, it doesn't really sound mixed to me. It sounds pretty raw, like it was like just recorded and it was like put on the instrumental and stuff like that. But there's definitely some things that I'm hearing, like I'm hearing certain words that kind of dip down a little bit too low in volume where they kind of get lost. I'm hearing certain words where it pops out a little bit louder. That tells me that there really wasn't compression added to this vocal. And also on the EQ side of things, I can tell it still needs some EQ love to kind of make the vocal sound a little bit more balanced in the frequency spectrum. It's not as thin as the other ones, but it can still use a little bit of love to kind of balance it out and like polish up the sound of it. Let me play it a little bit. Let me take it back just a little bit, actually.
A household name that's Flocko with the B.
All right, listen to the word beat, right? Listen to that. Listen how it pops out.
Household name that's Flocko with the B.
With the B. I'm sorry, with the B. Flocko with the B. That B pops out.
Name that's Flocko with the B.
So you want to control that stuff in a mix. Like, so much of mixing is about controlling things, and that's a frequency thing that's popping out. So it needs compression. It may need like multi-band compression, or you may need to use like a dynamic EQ that's just to clamp down on some of those frequencies from popping out as much and stuff like that. But yeah, it's still, this needs some mixing done to it. It doesn't sound like there's a whole lot of mixing that's been done or editing that's been done with this vocal. It sounds pretty raw.
Many times I done thought about it, like what the hell am I doing? I know people look up to me, I ain't like the way I was moving. Had to ask myself a question one day, I asked what I wanna achieve. Do I really do this to help people?
All right, let me take it back a little bit further. I love the message, man.
I know people look up to me, I ain't like the Many times I done thought about it, like what the hell am I doing? I know people look up to me, I ain't like the way I was moving. Had to ask myself a question one day, I asked what
I had to ask myself a question. We could polish that up a little bit timing wise. It's not too bad though, but we could polish it up just a little bit.
Look up to me, I ain't like the way I was moving. Had to ask myself a question one day.
Had to ask myself a question one day.
Ask myself a question one day. I asked the way I was moving. Had to ask myself a question one day. I asked what I wanna achieve. Do I really do this to help?
Yeah, that wasn't too bad off though. So it's not that big of a deal. Little things like that.
Help people or feel my money greed. And sometimes I'm like, fuck money, cause that's the root of all evil. But I know if I wanna keep living, then the money I need it.
I agree. I need money too. just a little bit. That's one of those quotes that we get wrong a lot of times when you hear people say money is the root of all evil. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil. Money in and of itself is a tool. It's not good or bad. What's wrong is the people's intent behind it, or how people interface with it. You know what I'm saying? But I know what you're saying. Yeah, we do need to have money. We do need it.
All evil, but I know if I wanna keep living, then the money I need it. Or that's a false narrative instilled in us from the day of birth. So we were all born cursed. We live in hell on earth. I need it. Or that's a false narrative instilled in us from the day of birth. The money I need it. Or that's a false narrative instilled in us from the day of birth. So we were all born cursed. We live in hell on earth. So reality ain't real. That's all a mirage. We all live the way we wanna live. Life just a facade. So go ahead, live it up.
I'd say something you can still play around with too is like your delivery. Nothing too crazy, because this is like a very melodic, kind of mellow sounding track. But you could play a little bit more with your voice too. Let me see if I can give you some examples or something. You know I'm big on examples.
I need it, or that's a false narrative instilled in us from the day of birth. Narrative instilled in us from the day of birth. So we were all born cursed. We live in hell on earth. So reality ain't real. That's all
Actually, what I would say, I think the delivery is fine. I'm just going back to what I was saying earlier about the vocal production, the tuning and stuff, and also like it could use some effects, and that would enhance the sound of the voice. So I don't think there's anything wrong with like your tone per se or anything like that. It's just the pitch stuff that needs to be dialed in, and like the mixing stuff to kind of make it, to give it ambience as well, like using stuff like reverbs and delays. That just makes it sound more like it's filling in the space in the track, and it doesn't just sound like so isolated and by itself. Let me play it.
mirage. We all live the way we wanna live. Life just a facade. So go ahead, live it up and do the best while you in it. And one day it will fly high while all in spirit. I've been in my head these days, so
yeah. This definitely needs some more vocal production work, because the writing and all that arrangement of the vocal, like what you've done already, is really good and really solid. It just needs to be brought out more, you know, with vocal production stuff. Because, yeah, we definitely want those melodies and stuff you're doing to shine more and to sound like more pretty and beautiful and stuff, and more echoes and reverbs and stuff like that to really kind of carry those notes even more.
I just hop on the beat, and that's the only way that I vent, the realest way to me. Said I'ma open my mind to y'all and don't be scared what you see. Said I'ma be a household name, that's Flacco with the B. I've been in my head these days, so I just hop on the beat, and that's the only way that I vent, the realest way for me. Said I'ma open my mind to y'all and don't be scared what you see. Said I'ma be a household name, that's Flacco with the B.
Yeah. I like that, Braylon. I think you're already off to a really good start on the writing side. Still just need a little bit more work on the mixing side and like vocal production side. So that's another theme kind of overall, like going back, like pretty much all these submissions were, I mean, really good, like on as far as what you guys are doing on the writing side. I made a video about this recently, about all the different roles that go into like making a rap song. And we do, so many of us artists are trying to do everything ourselves, which is hard, because I mean, it's hard enough just to get good at rapping, you know what I'm saying? And then you start trying to record yourself. Okay, that's a totally different hat you're wearing, you know, that's a totally different role that you're putting on, you know, as like a recording engineer, a vocal producer. And then if you're trying to mix your own stuff, that's a whole nother role, and that's a deep topic. I mean, I've been mixing for at least 15 years, and I'm still learning and digging deeper into mixing and stuff like that, because mixing is a very scientific and also creative thing. And it gets really deep. It's one of the more tricky, difficult things that I've learned. And but I think you're doing great, Braylon. Hopefully some of that gives you some things to focus on and work on and improve upon. But overall, man, I was just really impressed with all of the submissions today. Hopefully the feedback I was giving to all of y'all help y'all out, give y'all some things to work towards and stuff like that. Let me know if y'all made it this far in the video. If you like these type of videos, you want to see me maybe do some more reactions in the future to some of my subscribers' content. I really enjoy doing these type of videos and like just giving my honest live feedback. So my name is ColeMize with ColeMizeStudios.com, where I strive to make you a better rapper now. And if you're trying to perfect your rap skills, get yourself a free copy of my ebook, The #1 Fundamental to Rapping, via the link in the video description below. And subscribe to this channel for more straight to the point, no BS, how to rap video tutorials just like this one. And always remember, when it comes to rapping, there's no rules. There's only techniques. Peace. Hey man, you see that subscribe button right there? Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Oh, and don't forget the bell icon. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Hey, I know you see that like button, right? Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. And look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, today I'm gonna kill it, kill it.